Welcome back to Chronicles of the Curvaceous. You know we fabulous and tenacious. We dropping faith-based weight loss motivation. Hey y'all, it's Queen Fitness here. We are back again for VEDO Day number 11. We're gonna be back on our tips again. We trying to keep a good thing going. You already know. So today's tips is gonna be all about intermittent fasting. I've already done some previous research on intermittent fasting, so for me this was just a refresher. But I'm not gonna keep you guys on here long. I will drop a few nuggets about this actual topic and get on off the camera. I'm on my lunch break anyway, so I don't have a whole lot of time. But intermittent fasting is just what the name says. You intermittently fast. So you alternate space where you actually don't eat anything. Now you can drink water, and you can drink no calorie drinks like black coffee or unsweetened tea during your fasting window. Now the one of the most popular methods of intermittent fasting is the 16-8 method, and the way this method works is you go 16 hours of fasting and then you have an 8-hour window. A lot of people use from 12 to 8 as their window where they're actually eating. That way, the 8 hours that you're sleeping will be considered part of your fasting time. And they just get up and skip breakfast and start to break their fast at 12 o'clock. Now, mind you guys, when you are doing intermittent fasting, you can't just, during your 8-hour window, just eat 6,000 calories and think that you're going to actually yield any results that is not going to be beneficial to you. The average diet, they want you to keep your caloric intakes within a 2,000 calorie window, but you also, of course, like we talked about before, want to use those apps and things of that nature. Sometimes there may be, especially if you're actually working out as well, those things, you want to take that stuff into consideration too when it comes down to your calories and how much you're consuming during your 8-hour window. So that is the most popular one. They also have the alternate day fasting, and what that is consisting of is they every other day. So 4 days out of the week they consume food, and then 3 days they go for 24 hours with no food. They can drink water and drink calorie free beverages to get through the 24 hours without having any food. Then you can have the 5 and 2 method. The 5 and 2 method, the way that works is 5 days a week they do normal meal. You get your whole 2,000 calories in, whatever your calorie range is based on your height, your weight, and your actual dietary goal, your weight loss goal. So you're gonna get your normal calories in 5 days a week, and then 2 days a week for women they suggest that you restrict your calories down to 500 calories. If you are a man, then you can get 600 calories in on your fasting day. So basically you just want to make sure that your whatever you consume calorie wise that day do not go over 500 calories. So then they have the eat stop method, and the way this method works is you do 5 days out of the week you actually consume food normally, and then 2 days you will have two fasting days. So the way that they had their calendar or their schedule set up, they would fast on Mondays and Thursdays, and then the rest of the week they would fast the whole 24 hours, and then the rest of the week they would eat a normal dietary balance to kind of give your digestion tract a rest and to help break plateaus. So then they had the 14-10 method. I really didn't quite get clarification on that 14-10 method. They were saying like during the day you ate really small amounts of of fruits and vegetables, but then in a 4 hour window you will have your one large meal. So I really don't too much understand. They said there wasn't even a whole lot of research on that particular method. But then there's also the OMAD method. And the way the OMAD is, all it is one meal a day. And a lot of people, it's really popular, and a lot of people like one meal a day. They just basically don't only eat dinner. You know, they eat all their calories in one sitting. Just pretty much, you just throughout the day you consume water, and then you have a 1,800 calorie dinner, and it sustains you for the entire day. Of course, now when it come down to intermittent fasting, all of these type of things, you want to make sure that you, one, consult your physician. Two, you want to make sure that you're keeping in mind your dietary restrictions. You keeping in mind your if you're on any type of medications, you want to use wisdom on how on fasting and things of that nature. But you also want to bear in mind, your diet and your exercising as well, because exercise does in order for you to safely exercise, you need to make sure you're not in starvation mode before safely so that when you are lifting weights and things of that nature, you don't put yourself in risk for injury and those type of things. Now, fasting, the benefits of fasting is kind of to get your glycemic index under control, which is basically balance out your blood sugar levels. It also helps you to give your digestive tract a rest. Some people do, like, they fast, they have days of the week where they have no meat at all, and that's just because it takes a couple of days really for our body to digest meat. So you want to give yourself, you give your digestive tract a rest and give you time to actually get out the waste, filter it out. And you want to make sure that when you are doing things like intermittent fasting, that you are getting a balanced diet. You don't want to just say, okay, well, I'm gonna intermittent fast, but I'm gonna eat fries and french fries during my 8 hour window and not actually have any vegetables at all. The key to it is having wholesome meals during your 8 hour window, so that your body is not being depleted of any of the nutrients that it needs for the actual healing and for for you to actually be successful on your journey. But of course, there are some people who are successful with intermittent fasting. They eat what they want to eat. They just basically give their body time to burn off all of it and have 16 hours to break it down. You really want to try to not go straight to sleep on your meal, no matter whether you're fasting or not. You should give your body 2 hours to digest your last meal before you go to sleep. That's gonna help a lot with it'll help a lot with you being able to rest. It'll eliminate stuff like acid reflux, because when we go to sleep, what happens when our body digests food? Your liver and your pancreas secretes bile, and what it does, that is just to your organs secrete the chemical, the bile, to break down your food. Well, if you go straight to sleep on what you're trying to digest, that fluid that is sent naturally to break down your food ends up backing up into your esophagus and burning up. Actually, your throat is actually burning from the acid that is designed to break down your food, because you didn't give your body time to do what it needed to do to break down the food that you consume for the day before you lay down on it. And then when you go to lay down, that acid just backs up and it end up eating up the lining of your throat and cause ulcers and things of that nature. So you want to try to give your body time to rest before you lay down, so that your food is completely digested, it's broke down enough that you can rest on it, and you don't have to worry about that acid reflux and bloating and things like that. So Yeah, intermittent fasting, it is definitely a good tool to use. But if you're a type of person, you are the type of person who already struggle mentally with eating, having eating disorders and things of that nature, it's a dangerous thing. I said before that intermittent fasting is not a lifestyle choice for me because I have my history with food is not healthy, and because I used to have be the type of person that would go days without eating, is not good for me. It could end up being a trigger and starting me back into that unhealthy mindset and unhealthy habits. So that's why I have never chosen this particular lifestyle. I do know that I know people who are actually intermittent fast, and they are really successful and they're really lean, and for them it works. And so I'm not knocking the lifestyle itself. I just understand that it's not wise for me to choose to do it. Now I did when I were doing a lot of studying on intermittent fasting and stuff. What I did find out was there are a lot of people who use um, recreational drugs and things of that nature to help curb their appetite while they're doing the intermittent fasting. So they do, especially like the water fasting and things that they say they go 90 days water fasting and stuff, but they're high doing while they're doing it, and it's really, you're really not eating because you ain't think about eating because you high. And really, you, so yeah, of course you can go days without eating if if you're using illegal substances to alter your body's natural cravings. So I don't recommend doing that. I ain't knocking nobody else who do, but I just do not recommend it because I'm trying to be promoting healthy alternatives and being, actually processing what's going on with you in a healthy manner. So that's why I don't recommend it, but I'm not saying that it can't be done, and I'm not knocking anybody who does it. So yeah, intermittent fasting, I mean, even fasting period is a biblical principle, and God we're supposed to use it to discipline our flesh to be able to be in control of our spiritually. So I'm not knocking fasting at all, but I just think that for me to do it, I have to do it with a spiritual purpose behind it, and knowing that I'm doing this by the leading of the Holy Ghost and not just me wanting to lose weight for a something for me, for vanity. I don't want to use it that way. I don't want to abuse fasting that way. I want to have, so when I do use it, I want to have a purpose behind it. So that's one part of the reason too why I have chosen to veer away from this lifestyle. Now, if intermittent fasting is something that you are doing, I want you to comment below. I want you to give me, maybe you may have some wisdom keys on it. Maybe you may have some good advice for, if not for me, but just for the other viewers, to help them make a conscious decision and an informed, educated decision on choosing intermittent fasting as their way of lifestyle. We are talking about lifestyle changes. We're not talking about diet plans. And the reason why I don't recommend diet plans is because they are short lived. It's not something that you can sustain. And the danger of trying to follow just a quick fix diet plan is, once you stop that diet plan, you end up you can end up gaining all your weight back and more, and then you set yourself up to be in an unhealthy mindset because now you've undone all the work that you've done. So a lifestyle change, I recommend, when you're making a decision to choose a lifestyle, you choose something that you feel like, hey, this fits my work, it fits my work schedule, it fits my palate, because I like this type of food and I won't be feeling deprived if I'm eating this way. I won't feel like I'm punishing myself by eliminating something. Moderation is always a good approach. Eating in moderation will always be beneficial to you, no matter what lifestyle you choose. You definitely do not want to, even biblically, you should not glutton and overeat, and too much of anything could be harmful for you. So you want to definitely get your portion under control. Even with intermittent fasting, you need to be making sure that you're not just overeating simply because, hey, I know I can't eat within the next 16 hours, so I'm just gonna just keep barfing down food for 8 hours because I know I'm okay mentally, I'm okay, and it's a free for all. No, you got to use wisdom when you are consuming your meal, and you got to make sure that what you are giving your body is something that's going to fuel your body and sustain you for the next 16 hours. So you want to keep all that stuff in mind if you were to choose